Is that you? Oh shit. Hold on. Okay. Just let me get a comfortable for a second here, guys. Okay. Sorry, you caught me at a weird time. Uh, where is that? Oh well, I'll just hold the mic here, so you guys can. I don't have to scream. Um. Uh. Yeah. It's been a while, and I didn't. And basically, I don't know. I've just been thinking about this movie lately. It's called The Eternals. Yeah. Yeah. It's there's a lot of bad movies in the world, you could say. Um but this one, it goes to another level because there's like funny bad movies that are so bad they're entertaining. There are the like boring ones that are shitty and they're cheap because they're cheaply made. And there's an excuse there. This movie is a Marvel movie. I didn't put the I wrote notes, but I didn't write what the budget of the film was. I think it's expensive and it was bad. So let's just get into the plot summary here, because that's where the real problems lie. Because you can talk all day about how ugly the fucking movie is. It's supposed to be superheroes, and they have colorful outfits sometimes, but it's mostly just gray. Just a gray, boring fucking. It's just shit to look at. The special effects aren't really good. They're so like cartoony that it's hard to really take it seriously. And so it basically begins, and the Celestials are these things. So the movie already begins with some stupid shit that you have to like now start thinking about. The Celestials are these big ass fucking scary aliens floating in space. They look like robots, and they are born from planets, and they're super powerful. They're like gods, I guess. And they made the Eternals, the titular Eternals, to go to Earth and kill deviants. Where did these deviants come from, you may ask? Well, the Celestials made them first to kill off like large predators and things that would be dangerous to human beings. Then they just started killing human beings. So they made the Eternals to go kill them, and they're robots. But they look like people, and they act like people, and they uh, give them weird things. Like one of the Eternals is like a little kid that can never age and is just a little kid. And then there's like a deaf one and a fat one. So I don't know why you do that. I don't know what the gain is there. That's just further immersing them in the human experience, which is not what you want to do. Which is not what you would want them to do, because as you'll learn later in the film, it's just not conducive, and you'll figure out why. I'll tell you. So they make the Eternals, and they pop into our history somewhere like 7,000 years ago, in the ancient times, and they start, like, conveniently, they just show up around where writing was first invented, so they probably helped invent that in the universe. And I guess I've read multiple places that they're not supposed to interact or interfere, I mean, with humans. But that's all they do. It's almost like that's their mission. Because they're not just killing the deviants, it shows them, like, teaching them things and helping them and shit. So they weren't supposed to do that. Um, and they basically just fuck around doing that and pretty much get a lot of people killed, really. And then at one point they break up. Because in my notes I just wrote during conquistador times. So that was when they broke up. And at the same time, one of the Eternals, Thena, was she was having problems with her memory. They call it like the madness or something, time madness or something, because she's been alive for so long. So she goes crazy. And so Gilgamesh, another Eternal, is like, I will watch over her. And then they all break up. And Druig walks off into the woods. It should be. That's probably the best time that I should say this. The Eternals, man. There is Ajak, who is the leader. She is like Jennifer Lopez or something, and she is I don't know what she does. Icarus is Superman. He's the cool guy. He just does everything Superman does. Thena, the one that goes crazy, she can make like she can make like power weapons, summon weapons. Gilgamesh is Asian and he's really strong. Kingo is Indian and he can shoot little lasers out of his fingers. Honestly, pretty pathetic. Sprite has the power to be a child forever and also create illusions. Druig has the most overpowered thing in the Marvel Universe right now, I think. He can just control any amount of people's minds. He says in one point in the movie, I could control the whole planet's mind or something. But he doesn't, so. That sounds OP, but he's not the leader. Faustos is the fat black guy who can do machines. Makari is fast and deaf. That's the Eternals. That's our heroes. That is who we love. We love them. Okay, so cut to the modern day. Sersi, who I forgot to mention, is also an Eternal. Didn't write her down. She's actually the main character. She has the power to transform matter into anything. She can turn, like, silver into gold. Anyways, so cut to modern day, and Sersi is dating Jon Snow. And he is just a normal guy. She works at a library. And then, who shows up? It's Icarus, her old flame, after all these years. Oh my gosh, what is he doing here? Turns out Ajax's dead. Deviants killed her. What the hell? I thought we killed all the deviants. One got her. Adventure starts. Adventure starts. Holy shit, I'm already almost 9 minutes in. The adventure starts. Ajax. Yeah. So they're like, we need Kingo. So they go to get Kingo first. And I think Sprite is there too with them. And so they go to see Kingo first. And, so Kingo is, Kingo is doing a Bollywood dance performance when they walk in on him. And it's probably the most entertaining, like, 5 seconds of the film. And I heard a couple places that that scene was actually added in, like, after the fact. Like, they had him come after the Kingo actor filmed all his scenes, they made him come back in and film that shit. And I also heard that they were really shitty to him. The person who, like, booked him for the gig, or whoever he signed, like, the person he signed on with for the movie, I don't know what her name is, but she was really, like, shitty to him. They, like, lied to him. They were like, this is going to be a serious character. You're going to be a superhero in Marvel now. And he was like, cool. And then they gave him the script and he was like comic relief. And he's not even Indian. And he's like this comic relief Indian stereotype. And they didn't tell him any of that. And they were like, well, you already signed the contract. We're going to ruin your fucking career if you don't keep going with this shit. You can't fuck with Marvel. You can't not go into a Marvel movie after you said you would. So he had to do this stupid character. He's not even Indian. He's from Pakistan, pretty sure. Anyways, so then after the dance recital, it's back to business. They go and round up the rest of the Eternals. That being like Gilgamesh and Thena. They're just chilling together and she has problems with her memory. Then they get everybody else except Druig because they think he's a douchebag, which is a really it's just a strange thing. It shows they show him being like a in the flashbacks they show him being like a goofball. So you think he's like comic relief and then they're like, "Oh, it's Druig. He's such an asshole. He's the Squidward of the group." And then they go see him and he is kind of an asshole. So they go and get Druig and he is like leading a cult. It's like a cult, but those people, he grabbed a bunch of people when they all split up, and he's just been like tending to them and like raising a village out in the woods of these people he brainwashed long ago. But he doesn't brainwash them anymore, just at the beginning. And then they're like, "Fuck Druig, he's such a Squidward." And then a fucking the deviants attack them, and they're like, "This shit's serious." And then they get a flash. Oh fuck! I forgot to mention when Ajax died. The reason Icarus came to Cersei was because an orb, flew out of Ajax and floated into Cersei. I wrote that down. Where did I write that down? It was important at the time, right? Yeah. They get the orb. Cersei gets Ajax orb, so she's the next leader of the Eternals. That's why he seeks her out. And so that's where we're at. So then Cersei gets a message from the Celestial Ereshim, who is like their main guy, I guess. And he says to her, guess what? And this is a callback to the beginning of the video, basically. He says, guess what? You guys were not put on the Earth to help humanity. You guys are a dime a dozen. We make Eternals all the time. We send them to planets to cultivate intelligent life, which somehow feeds like the seed of an Eternal inside of a planet, like an egg or something. And then they hatch out of the planet, killing everything. Now let's really dig into that. And I'm sorry to, I was out the door, as you can see. I'm sorry to get into this, but really think about that. Why did they have to lie to them in the first place if they're robots or whatever they are? You couldn't just make them like mindless machines that cultivate and then they fuck off, because now most of the Eternals are like, I don't want to do that. I like the people here. They look like a human being and they think they kind of are a human being. When they find Faustos, he is fucking some dude and has an adopted kid. Like, they're people. And so the Celestials are like, fuck. But one of them is a traitor, man. Well, no, only one of them isn't a traitor, actually. Icarus, turns out he killed Ajax. And he framed her murder by deviants. It's kind of a hardcore ass. It's kind of a cool scene. And so the Celestials are like, or I'm sorry, the Eternals are like, what do we do? Icarus is like, I'm gonna go complete the mission. Anybody who doesn't come with me, don't get in my way. And Sprite is like, I want to go with you because I want to fuck you. And he's like, I'm not gonna, but you're welcome to come, I guess. And so they dip out. And the rest of the crew, their plan is, Druig is going to, like, brainwash the Celestial to, like, stop it. And he's like, I don't know if I can fucking do that. And so, from hatching, the one that's hatching, and he's like, I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try. And then they're gonna have Cersei like transform it completely into something else, like some other matter, and kill it. So okay. But first, I guess they have to kill Icarus. So they go and try to kill him. He's beating all their asses. Oh yeah, and also at one point in the movie, Gilgamesh gets killed by a deviant, and it absorbs him and becomes like an anthro deviant because they look like dogs, but now it's like a human-looking one. And so they also fight that at the end of the movie. And so that happened. Also, they fought Icarus, but he doesn't kill anybody, but he beats everybody's ass. And then no, wait, hold on, I gotta get into this part. Druig gets blasted into 1,000,000,000 feet away by Icarus, and everyone's like, he's fucking dead. And so Faustos has to like hold Icarus back the whole time with his machines, and then the whole time Sprite is fucking things up for people. She stabs Cersei in the spleen with a fucking knife, and she's just like, oh, and she's just dying. And then you think it's over for Cersei, as Sprite is giving this big speech about how much she hates her life and her big moment, and guess who shows up? That that just pointless character Druig. He pops up and bashes her fucking back. I thought for the longest time he just punches her in the back of the head because he's like an eternal, but I guess he hits her in the back of the head with a fucking rock, which is something that I think I read, which is even funnier. He just bashes the little fucker's head in with a rock, and you're just like, oh my god, Sprite is dead. It's so good. It's a pretty entertaining scene in the movie. I don't even think it was meant to be funny. So then Icarus gets out, and I forget what happens, but he is just like, I hate myself! So he flies into the sun and kills himself. And so the rest of the Eternals are free to kill the Celestial. And Cersei turns it into gold or something, and it stops from exploding. And the Eternals all live happily ever after, the ones that lived. Not Gilgamesh or Icarus. So then we cut, and we get back to Cersei's place, and she's like, what's up, Jon Snow? What have you been up to? And he fucking says, well, seems my family's a bit complicated. Which, of course, refers to this scene where he is like finding some sword or something. He's set up to be some other character in the Marvel universe that is just Jon Snow. And then another Celestial or something talks to Earth and is like, I'm gonna fuck shit up or something. You need to get your shit together, Cersei. And then the after credits scene is Druig, Thena, Makkari, who Druig is fucking Makkari too, and some other one, Sprite, Thena, I don't know. And they are on a ship, and Star Fox and Pip the Troll show up. So that was Eternals. Oh my god, almost 20 minutes. I'll do something crazy for you guys. So, yeah, that was Eternals. It was probably the most boring film I've ever seen in my life. One of the people I watched the film with was sleeping, and I wanted to go to bed, but I couldn't because the seats were uncomfortable, so I had to watch it. And I was just looking at my phone every 5 minutes to see when this fucking movie was gonna end. I think I got to the hour and a half mark where I said, oh my god, let's get out of here now. And then I saw that it was only halfway through. It's a 3-hour movie. I give Eternals 2 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 3, but you know it's bad because I didn't want to give this movie a rewatch. I didn't rewatch it for this review. I've only seen it one time in theaters, so I'm sorry if I didn't get a lot of this right. So, thank you, guys. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Comment on this video what you want me to do next. comment. Just keep it safe. Comment on this video what you want me to review or something. Three sword style attack.